Hi writers, today we're going to learn to be patient and slow down as we write by adding as much detail to our story as we can remember. So today I want to teach you that writers write slowly, playing back the memory in their mind as they write. Then they add as much detail as they can to their writing. Sometimes when we write too fast, jumping from one event to another. So for example, this author over here wrote, we went to the zoo, we saw a lot, and then we left. They took no time to develop the whole story. They went back over here and revised, adding in step by step what they did. So they went to the zoo on our class field trip. They paid admissions and got stamps on their hands as tickets. They saw a zebra. Then they went to the first exhibit to see monkeys. So they added a lot of detail here to slow down their story and help the reader experience it with them. Let's take a look at a passage from a personal narrative we know, Goosebumps, to see how the author applies this strategy. So our author in this part could have written, I woke up, it was cold, I got my blanket and fell back asleep. That really jumps from one event to another quickly and doesn't really help the reader experience the story or develop the story at all. But instead, she wrote, I woke up with a tingle. I sat up in my bed. I looked at my clock. Only 10 minutes went by. I looked at my arms. They were covered with goosebumps. So were my legs. It felt like it dropped 30 degrees. I bent down and grabbed the wool blanket and pulled it over me with a sigh of relief. So let's take a look at how this author slowed down the writing. And they did this by showing a lot of action. So first, they woke up. Next, they sat up and they looked at the clock. They looked at their arms next. They bent down and they grabbed the wool blanket and they pulled it over them. And then she let out a sigh of relief. So here, the author, again, took something that could have been said in a sentence, but she slowed down and added step by step everything she did, and she developed her story with action. So now it's going to be your turn. You're going to go back to your draft. You're going to reread and find places where you quickly jump from one event to the next. Next, you're going to replay that memory in your head and ask yourself what you did, what were the actions during that time. You're going to revise your draft by including as many details and actions as you can remember, and this will help your reader experience the story the same way you did.